Hi everyone, we're going to work on 7.1 homework together. Let's graph this function y equal to 3 sine of 5 theta. So we're going to start with finding some values here. The amplitude of the function comes from the a value, this a value which is equal to 3. So amplitude, which is a value, is 3. This number 5 that you see here is going to be the b value of the function. B is 5. What's the use of b? We're going to find the period of the function by this b value. So period of the function is the period of the parent sine function in degrees, which is 360, divided by b value 5. That's equal to 72. This is one period of the function. Now we want to find the distance between critical points, because we know that we have 5 critical points and the distance between them will be 4 pieces. So we're going to divide by 4. So critical points steps is 72 divided by 4, which is 18. Since there is no number, there's no value subtracted or added to 3, that means there is no horizontal shift, and also we don't have any vertical shift here. So the sinusoidal axis is going to be here on y equal to 0, and there's no horizontal shift, so the starting point is going to be from 0 and 0. The amplitude is 3. That means from the sinusoidal, we're going to go 3 up and 3 down. So this is the highest point, and this one is the lowest point. So the distance between the critical points is 18. So we're going to start from here, 0, 18. Next number is 18 plus 18, which is 36. Next one is 36 plus 18, 54. And next plus 18 is 72. So this is going to be one period of the function. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 critical points starting from 0, and we have 4 pieces between them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 pieces between them. So we're going to start with this. We know that sine looks like this form. Starts from a midpoint. So the beginning of the function starts from the midpoint on the sinusoidal axis. Next one will be a high point. So on next critical point, we have a high point. Then we have a midpoint. Then we have a low point. So on 54, we have a low point. And we're going to reach to the midpoint again. This is end of one period. So you can graph your function this way. This is one cycle. Since it's asking us to graph 2 cycles, so I can continue. 72 plus 18, that's 90, plus another 18 is 108, plus another 18, 126, and the last one, 144. So I can graph one more cycle. Again, we have a midpoint, and then high point, midpoint, low, mid. So this is the second cycle. Okay, now let's work on number 4. 7 cosine of 2 pi. Again, we have an amplitude which comes from this a value. Amplitude is 7. Notice that this one is in radian. The b value is this one. This was a, this one is b value. So the period of the function will be period of the parent function, which is 2 pi, because we're working in radian. So we're going to write 2 pi, not 360, divided by b value, divided by 2. That's pi. So 1 pi is 1 period of the function. There's no horizontal or vertical shift here. So we're going to use this information to graph our function. The steps between the critical point steps is the period divided by 4. So pi divided by 4. This is the steps between the critical points. Okay, so we can start graphing the function. The sinusoidal axis is right here on the x-axis. We're going to start with 0. That's the first point, the first critical point. Next one is at pi over 4. Next one will be pi over 4 plus another pi over 4. So that's going to be 2 pi over 4, which you can simplify that as pi over 2. So here's another critical point at pi over 2. And next is, again, 2 pi over 4. Just to make it easier, I'm going to add, instead of the pi over 2, I'm using the not simplified form of that and add pi over 4 to that. So this is 3 pi over 4. The next one is 3 pi over 4. And the next is 3 pi over 4 plus another pi over 4. That's 4 pi over 4, which could be simplified as pi. So this is pi. If I want to write 2 cycles, so I'm going to continue finding the next critical points. The next one will be 4 pi over 4 plus another one. That's 5 pi over 4. Next is 6 pi over 4. And next is 7 pi over 4. And the next one is 8 pi over 4. You may simplify these. For example, 6 pi over 4, you could write it as 3 pi over 2, because 6 divided by 2 is 3, 4 divided by 2 is 2. And this one, 8 divided by 4 is 2, 4 divided by 4 is 1. So you could write that as 2 pi as well, but this is also acceptable. So one cycle is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So from here to this point is one cycle. We know that cosine looks like this. It starts with a high point, high, mid, low, mid, high. So the amplitude of the function is 7. So from the sinusoidal, we're going to go 7 up and 7 down. At -7 is our lowest point. So we start from a high point here. So first critical point is high point. Next critical is mid. Next one is low. Then we have midpoint, and we have high point. So this will be the graph of the function. For the next cycle, again, start with high, which is already here, then mid, then low, mid, and high point. So this is the second cycle of the